How's it going today, guys? Back today with a fresh new haircut. If you saw my video about getting the haircut, you know it's because I'm setting a goal for myself and for the company to grow 500%, and I will not be cutting my hair until I do so. So here we are, shortest it's ever been. Not sure if I love it, but here we are. So today's topic of discussion is going to be work ethic. It's something that I hold near and dear to my heart because it's something that I would say I've been the definition of since I was 16, 17 years old. And it's something that when I look at my friends, peers, or just acquaintances who either come to me for advice or just hear them talk about their lives, it's probably the most consistent missing component of why things aren't happening for them. So a bit about my background for those of you that don't know or, do watch my videos and have a bit of an idea. I really have worked 16 to 17 hours a day pretty much since my junior year of high school. I knew wholeheartedly that I wanted to build a career within the accounting space. I didn't know where that would lead or where it would really end up, but I didn't grow up with money, so I thought, hey, I've got to, if I ever want to have anything for myself, I've really got to work my tail off and basically, put in the time necessary to see that through. And really up until this year, I really took the first quarter of 2021 to kind of relax. I went out to eat a lot, still working tirelessly, but I hired a staff and I didn't directly replace, that time in my day a lot. I played some basketball, I watched some movies, stuff that, not that I haven't done it prior, but stuff that I didn't traditionally do every day because of how much I'd work. It's crazy to me to think about from, 16, 17 years old or that junior year of high school up until, halfway through being, 25. I would say my work ethic was unmatched. I don't think there was, other people work hard, but I can't imagine anyone was working harder than I was just because I know how much work I was putting in and you need to sleep. So I know how that kind of equates out. But I think people really underestimate how much really can be accomplished each and every single day. And then compounding that every week, every month, and every year when you have a solid and I'll say foundational type of work ethic. Now, I'm not telling everyone who watches this or anyone who's watching this to start working that much. I'll never call them regrets because this life is absolutely tremendous and I wouldn't have anything that you see, before you or I see before me without having that work ethic. But you need to put in the time for the things that you want. And I think it's far too often missed that achieving anything takes hard work. And it takes putting in a lot of time and a lot of effort. And yeah, there's really nothing else that needs to be said other than it takes hard work. And having the work ethic to be able to see to what your end goals are and reverse engineer and realize what needs to be done to actually see to it that it happens. I realize I've kind of rambled, but I'll give an example that really prompted this. So I'll say there's an acquaintance of mine who over the years has basically asked me for help or just guidance and assistance, motivation, all of those words mumbled into one, numerous times to help him along on his career. So we'll go out to dinners, we'll hang out, we'll just text or DM. And I've given him the same exact advice when we were 18 years old, 20 years old, 22 years old. And we just recently had the conversation again. And he's in the exact same spot mentally about his life, about his job, about where he's at as we had when we had the first conversation at 18. And I look at the situation and it's almost a definition of insanity because you have the motivation, you get guidance. And I'm not saying I know the yellow brick road to, making stuff happen. Far from the case. But never actually taken a piece of the advice that I've given, never put forth the work ethic that I told him would be necessary. And I kind of got down to the component of why isn't he or what is that? And I don't think it's a motivation thing because I think people always want things. I think people don't know how to have a work ethic. I don't think people have that switch or don't understand that there's this switch that, like, for me, I have in my own head of, okay, I've got to work now. Like, okay, like this is the goal. And now the fun part starts. I've got to get to work. I've got to start hitting this and I've actually got to make this happen. I don't think everyone really understands that. And I'm not saying people don't have it, and that's why I corrected myself earlier, because I think you can learn it. I definitely didn't have it when I was younger, because I know my work ethic when I was 13, 14, 15 in my headspace, from the difference that changed when I turned 16, 17 and became, and I just got this new drive and motivation and work ethic that came along with that. But I think people need to realize that you actually have to start working, and that's when you'll start seeing the rewards. Like, you don't get what you're after by thinking I'm going to work harder, or thinking of an idea, or building out a plan of how you're going to do it. You actually have to start working, and you have to develop a work ethic that is, I guess, comparable to the goals and end spots that you want to be. And I think far too often I see people that don't really comprehend that, or just never start to put forth that effort. So this video has been a lot of rambling. I've been trying to not sound like a dick, not throw my acquaintance under the bus, and really just hone in on the fact of, I'll conclude with, work ethic is literally foundationally what's driven this life that I live today. Motivation is fleeting. I'll even say that drive is fleeting. All of the things that get you excited and you're like, I'm going to work hard today. At the end of the day, all of those things are kind of like flames, I'll say. Sometimes they burn really bright, and sometimes they're not there. But work ethic, is what's going to drive you on those days where you're not super motivated and doing these videos don't seem fun. Or, for me in accounting, early on in my career, where the days of doing bookkeeping and entry-level accounting wasn't fun. It's that work ethic, and I'll say combined with drive, that really laid the foundation for me to continue growing and continue hitting new heights that wouldn't have been possible without it. So never overlook work ethic. And if you're someone who hasn't gotten to where they want to be, or you're not at a place where you want to be, I would say one of the first areas that I would look after finding and making sure that you're actually doing something that you want to be doing is working on and developing the mindset to develop a strong work ethic, because that's literally what's going to foundationally set you apart and what's going to allow for you to really start reaching those new heights and new ceilings. So a bit of a ramble video. I've said that 3 times now, but I really hope that you enjoyed it. I hope it brought you value. And as always, I look forward to talking with you again soon.